Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is a request video and it's to chat about sinuses. So it is quite common that you can get sinus irritations. So sometimes it's just the puffiness that's there. Sometimes it can be tenderness. There can be issues with lymphatic drainage. There can be sinusitis, which is an inflammation. Sometimes it goes into infection. So today is just some pointers to think about if your sinuses give you any issues and some suggestions of what could possibly help. So again, the information isn't generalised in the sense that it fits everyone, but it's some key pointers and key ideas to look at if your sinuses are giving you some issues. So if you know that you don't have any irritations in the sense of infection or inflammation, then you can start to think about what could be irritating your sinuses just within the environment that you're in. So one of the key things is moisture in the air. So if there's a lack of moisture in the air, then if you think about it, your nasal passages will start to dry out and that can cause irritation. So first of all, do you need a humidifier? Do you need to introduce some moisture into the air? You can think about that. A cooler environment and cooler air is actually more beneficial to your sinuses than warmer air. So do you need to look at the temperature control within the area? Can you do something about that? Also, in general, are you getting enough fluid? Are you hydrated? If you lack hydration and everything's starting to dry out in your nasal passages, then that is not going to help the situation. So think about how much water you're taking in. And if you can't tolerate water, then you can use flavoured waters, you can use teas. Just think about anything that you know that can help to get the moisture levels back to where they should be within your own body. So one of the first things that you should definitely think about is moisture both internally and externally to the sinus area. So have a think about that first. Another thing to think about with the sinuses is how easily the nasal passages can be irritated, which can affect your sinuses. So really strong scents can cause a problem. So if you're using extremely strong smelling hairsprays, hair products, perfumes, sometimes even air fresheners, or if you're doing cleaning and the cleaning products are really strong, then that can irritate your sinuses too. So just have a think about whether it could be some products or a combination of products that you're using and they could actually be causing some irritation and you didn't even realise it could do that. But then you can start to look towards, if you are able to remove some of these things that could be triggers, looking towards how you can actually help your sinuses and try and maintain the most healthy sinus health that you can without, obviously, if you've got irritation, that being a different thing if it moves into infection. So the easiest thing to do is even just making sure that you can get a steam inhalation. Now, a steam inhalation could be as simple as having a hot shower or running a bath, but then closing the door while the bath's running so that when you enter into the bathroom, you've created steam in the air, and that can really help to give you a nice nasal clean and a nice sort of air freshness. You can actually start to treat the sinuses and get that air moving. That can really help. You can also give yourself an inhalation treatment if it's you've probably done this before, either a steamer, so you can get your facial steamer, or you can be over a bowl of hot water, and then all you do is very carefully, because you don't want to burn yourself, have the towel over your head with the hot water, and then you're inhaling the steam, and that can really help to clear the sinuses. Sometimes you can use products and you just put some drops into the water and they can be very cleansing, and quite often there can be a bit of peppermint there, a bit of eucalyptus, and they can really help again just to clear the passages. But you have to be careful that the air isn't burning hot that you're inhaling. And I don't know if anyone's ever done it before when you've had a cold and you've tried to use the inhalation, but if the water's too hot, when you inhale, you can actually feel that the air is actually burning hot as you do that. So it's got to be warm, but not so hot that it actually causes you discomfort. But inhalation can be very effective for the sinuses. And then that moves us on to using products. So you can use products in your facial routine that can be very effective again on the sinuses. So what you can do is maybe pick some facial oils or a nice moisturiser that suits your skin and use it to start to massage the area. So what I'd suggest is that you do your usual routine, and then at the stage when you're either moisturising or if you like to use a facial oil, really apply it as you would normally, and then once you're doing the routine, really start to work on those sinuses. And again, your fingers are the perfect tools for this. You can just press and release, and work from either side of the nose in little pressures, moving and releasing, and work your way to the ear. So what you're doing is you're trying to release any congestion there. If there's a fluid build-up, you're helping to release that too. And this is actually like a pressure point massage. Press and release, press and release. And if you just think roughly to the middle of the ear, you've got some lymph nodes there, so you're helping to remove it into the lymphatic system, which is again removing the waste product. So if you just aim roughly for the middle of the ear, then you can just press and release and work there. And the key, which is easiest for you, which means you can't go wrong, is to think about visualizing 3 lines. And you would do your press and release, really just take your time with it. 3 lines, and then follow those lines, and instead of pressing, just flush it away. So you're almost just doing one long flush move again to the middle of the ear. And you could repeat that whole thing 3 times, and the theory is, again, it's helping to release sinus congestion. Now, if you'd really like a tool to help you with massaging and draining away any congestion there, if you really think your sinuses would benefit from it, then something like the cupping tools. And I've got a video that I did with ACU Supply, and it was how to use their cupping tools. So what I'm going to do while I'm chatting with you now is just cut a little bit of the sinus movements into this video so you can see that, but I'll also leave a link to the original video, because something like these, it's so handy because it's doing a very mild suction movement. And by doing the suction movement, what it's helping to do is just give that circulation a boost, give that lymphatic system a boost, and then you can help to release that product too. So these ones are rather big, but you can use them. But what's much, much easier, and you've got more control, is if you use the smaller ones and you're just doing a little pressure, and then you can just very, very gently move along, and then release when you get to the ears. So a little bit of suction, move them along, release when you get to the ears. And again, you'll hear that little popping noise, but that is a very simple tool. It's inexpensive, it's effective, and it could be perfect for anyone, again, that either needs to maintain good sinus health or just needs a little bit of a boost. But likewise, these are just great additions to your facial routine anyway, because they do so many things for you, especially when it comes to maintaining the freshest, healthiest skin that you can. So that's just a few ideas on sinuses. And again, those of you, there were a few that requested it, so I hope that answers some of your questions. But as always, I'd love to know your thoughts, your suggestions, what you use for your sinuses. So please leave me comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell. I'll see you again soon.